Hi there, Dave from Joe Daly's here. Just going to show you how to do an everyday safety check on your bike. So what we're going to do first of all, as the standard quick check on any kind of a bike, is the M check. And the reason it's called the M check is because of the shape you describe as you go around the bike. So you start off at the front wheel, up to the handlebars and stem, down to the bottom bracket and chain wheel, up to the saddle, and down to your rear wheel. That M, if you follow it, covers every part of your bike. Starting off with the front wheel. So what you're checking there is that your skewer is tight as appropriate, that your wheel is in, that your tyre is inflated, and as you come up, that your brake is working. As you come up to the handlebars, we're going to check both brakes, give them a squeeze, make sure they clamp the wheel, make sure that your handlebars are tight and that there's no rock or play in the headset. If you need to check if your handlebars are tight, just come around to the front, grip the wheel between your knees and give the handlebars a squeeze. They shouldn't move or turn in any way. Coming back down the bike, so we want to check that the chain is on, that it's not overly stretched. Your pedals, if you're using clipless pedals, that they're clean, that they aren't broken, that there aren't any bits of dirt, stones or any of those. You'll also check your cleats when you do that. We're going to check briefly for bottom bracket wear and looseness. So what you do for that is take a crank in one hand and try and rock it from side to side. It should feel absolutely solid. If there is side to side movement, then that's something that you need to check out. As we come up the bike, so the important thing here is your saddle. Seat post should both be tight. Saddle should be level. So we give that a squeeze and a rock, and that is rock solid. Come down the bike here, and as we're going, we're checking the rear wheel. Tyre is good. Skewer or through axle is tight. We've already checked that the brake is working effectively. Now I'm just going to spin it and see that the wheel is running through. Perfect. Going to check the rear derailleur and hanger are straight. And then, if we want, we can just flick through the gears briefly and make sure they're running okay. Clamp the brake and we're all good. So, if you want to do a quicker check, this is one I do every time I get back on my bike. So, even if I'm halfway around a spin, I'm stopped on a garage forecourt on a long spin or an Audax, or I'm coming out of the cafe. So all I'm doing here is check the brakes, check the tyres, and check the front wheel is in. Simple, takes 10 seconds before you get on the bike, and you know that your bike is at least going to be safe. It might seem like overkill doing those little things, but skewers can loosen off, they can be bumped. Brakes can wear, particularly if you're out on winter spins. So just do those little checks every time. And if everyone in the group does that, you know that all bikes are good. With helmets, the most important thing is that it fits you correctly. There are all different sizes and shapes of helmets and all different sizes and shapes of heads. And if it doesn't fit you correctly, then it's no good at all. As the helmet gets more expensive, what tends to happen is the quality gets better, it gets easier to get a good fit, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to sit on your head right. So make sure you get one that fits you correctly. When you're sitting it on, it should sit on down onto your forehead. So when you pull it down, it needs to be just above your brow. And that means that if you have the unfortunate Face plant, it will protect your face. If it's sitting up too high like that, firstly, it's not protecting your face. Secondly, it's in a position where it can roll off if you have that crash. When you sit it on, you want to tighten up the dial at the back. That's this guy here. So we need to make this headband sit on your head just right. That headband is what holds the helmet into place. So we sit the helmet down to the forehead, and tighten the dial till it's just snug. If the helmet is fitting you right, it should feel comfortable now. And the most important bit, it should stay on your head. I can shake my head, I can tip, it stays on my head just fine. Then the straps. So the straps are belt and braces. If the helmet's fitting you correctly, it will stay on unstrapped most of the time. And the straps are there in case you're ever unfortunate enough to be having a tumble that you're hitting yourself repeatedly off the ground. So tightening up the straps, make sure the ear triangles are passing neatly either side of your ear. Strap under the chin, pull it tight till you can fit 2 fingers between chin and strap. If it's tighter than that, it's going to strangle you or give you difficulties every time you look over your shoulder. If it's looser than that, then it's not going to help you if you do have that fall where you hit it badly. With the disc brakes, you want to check that you still have some life on your pads. If you have a look down along the plane of the disc, you should see the pad material sticking out from the base metal. With this one, it's clear enough because the pads are very fresh. If it's not clear, then you're probably getting towards the end of the life of the pads. So now I'm just going to go through another bike, this time with rim brakes and quick release skewers. So when you're checking the pads on rim brakes, you want to see that you still have plenty of material on the pad, that when you pull the brake lever, the pads clamp securely on the braking surface of the rim, and that when you spin the wheel, it's moving nice and straight down the center of the pads. So quick release skewers, if you still have cures on your bike, are one of the most important things to get right. If it's closed, it will say close or closed on the outside of the lever. If you have it tightened up the wrong way around, it's going to say open. When you're tightening up the skewer, it's important that it's tightened up just right. If it's too loose, it can rattle loose as you cycle, or it can easily be snagged open if you bump off something. If it's too tight, you will damage the mechanism and the skewer will prematurely break. So how tight is just right? When you close it, if you close with the heel of your hand, it should leave a mark on your hand that lasts just for a couple of seconds. If it takes a lot of force to close it, then it's too tight. If it pops over easily with no effort, then it's too loose. Thanks for watching. Stay safe on the road and hopefully see you all out there sometime soon.